I love my wife. I really do. What happens outside of my home, that's just sex. It has nothing to do with feelings. One thing doesn't interfere with the other.
Bravo. Bravo! What a piece of mental architecture. The compartmentalization, the denial of your own self. It's one of your most ingenious inventions. Almost as good as morality.
What are you talking about? I thought you'd come here to lecture me about sin, about betrayal.
Sin? What a crude, outdated tool. What you do is much more sophisticated, my dear fellow. You are not a common sinner. You are an actor. The star of two plays, running simultaneously on the very same stage. In one, you are the devoted husband, the pillar of the family. In the other, you are the adventurer, the free man.
They're different situations, and I'm good at keeping things separate. It's a skill.
A skill. You treat yourself like a house with rooms that don't connect. This is the living room of marital love. This is the damp basement of carnal desires. It's a beautiful floor plan. But you forget the house is one single structure, and the smell of mold from the basement inevitably rises through the pipes and seeps into the living room carpets. You aren't keeping things separate. You are lying to yourself about the very architecture of your own soul.
It's a lie that works. Nobody gets hurt.
Your primary mistake is thinking your only lie is to your wife. That's the small lie, the amateur's lie. The great lie, the masterpiece of your bad faith, is the lie you tell the man you see in the mirror every morning. It's the lie that says the actor and the character are separate entities. Your wife loses a husband. But what does the actor lose when he spends so much time on stage that he forgets who he really is when the curtains fall?
My performances aren't worse or better. What I do outside my home isn't a performance. It's the opposite. It's the absence of one. There are no lies, no promises, no building a future. It's just instinct, the hunt, a rush of adrenaline to remind me I'm alive. It has nothing to do with the love I feel for my wife.
The hunt? What a virulent, powerful image you paint of yourself. The urban predator. I imagine you love telling your friends the stories of these hunts with all the sordid details, don't you? Exaggerating a little here, omitting a failure there. The hunt itself is good, but the vanity of getting to narrate it later. Oh, that's the real prize.
That's none of your business, and it's not about vanity. It's about nature, instinct. You tell me, you who claim to be so wise, why did God put these hormones in me, in us, men? Why do we have to fight this instinct daily? It feels like a divine trial. We have our animal side. Why do humans chase this pleasure so much, like dogs in heat, and risk everything?
Oh, now we're talking theology, my favorite subject. You want to use the Creator's manual to justify your own mess. Splendid. Let's do it. Your holy book has a beautiful poetic passage about man and woman becoming one flesh, a mystical union, the soul and perfect harmony, the end of the fracture.
So what?
So what? So you, in your genius, have created a new theology, the theology of portioned out flesh. You want to be one flesh with your wife from 9 to 5 and on family weekends, but on Tuesday nights, you want to be one flesh with the girl from marketing and on the business trip with a stranger at the bar. You haven't become one flesh. You have become a butcher shop, handing out pieces of yourself in cheap packaging, and you still have the audacity to call the best cuts true love.
That is a desecration of what I feel.
Desecration? No, it's just a business model.
And your mistake, my dear man, is thinking the problem is your animal instinct. I love your instinct. The problem, the real heresy that guarantees you a reserved seat in my kingdom, is your cowardice. Your refusal to be just one thing. A wolf doesn't apologize for being a wolf. He doesn't start a second family of sheep to pretend he's a vegetarian. You, however, hide behind the fantasy of the good husband because you have neither the courage to be the hunter you claim to be, nor the integrity to be the husband you swear you are.
Nobody's perfect. They're just escapes, adrenaline.
So tell me, what's more pathetic? The animal instinct you use as an excuse, or the desperately human need to lie to yourself about it?
You talk like it's so easy. You don't understand a thing.
Ah, the filet mignon of your inauthenticity. The exhaustion of a soul that refuses to be whole. You're not tired of your burden. You're tired of having to choose. It's just rhetoric, empty words. It is the exhaustion of a soul that refuses to be whole. And here is the grand reveal, the second and deeper lie. Your great betrayal wasn't the sex outside your marriage. It was the betrayal against yourself. You murdered your own integrity so you wouldn't have to make a difficult decision.
You're laying it on a bit thick. Anyone listening would think I'm some irresponsible kid. I meet my obligations, I make her happy, she wants for nothing at home.
Being an adult, my dear man, is choosing one dish and accepting that you won't eat all the others at the buffet. It's living with the anguish of freedom that one of your philosophers, Sartre, described so well. You want the safety of the safe harbor with your wife, but you also want the adrenaline of the open sea with the other woman. By refusing to choose, you betray them both, and most importantly, you betray yourself. You are nothing, just an exhausted ghost running between two stages.
I don't remember inviting you to this conversation. And don't you see that nobody's perfect? This doesn't have any real importance. It's just an isolated thing.
Isolated. A jug that's once held kerosene will never lose the smell. You shattered your life into 1,000 pieces, and now you're shocked that the shards cut you. Every gesture of affection toward your wife is stained with guilt. Every moment of pleasure with the other is haunted by fear.
I'm just tired.
I understand tired. And since we're on the subject, could it be that your wife isn't tired, too? Tired of acting in your play, of holding up your charade? From what I've seen of human behavior, her tiredness would be very interesting to other dogs in heat. I would love to see that epic scene, preferably in your own bed.
My wife is nothing like the she-devils in your sty. I trust her.
Ah, there it is. The eagle that has just felt the snake's bite. I could feel your stomach drop from here. The bathroom is just over there if you need it.
We, men, don't go through what women go through. You should know that.
Oh, really? Don't forget I've been watching you all for a few thousand years. Perhaps women are just better at hiding it. Perhaps for eons, in the societies you men created, they were conditioned to repress and be more strategic. But to say the instinct doesn't exist in them, that same hormone that I personally help proliferate in your bodies. Now, my dear man, you offend me. You offend my art.
Go to hell.
You're already in it, my dear man, and I've just shown you the floor plan for a new room you never even knew existed in your architecture of lies. Enjoy the decor.
He stood there, paralyzed, blaming God, blaming himself, when the true owners of his body and soul are a much more intimate pair. Think of the alliance that governs him, and perhaps governs you too. The riddle has two parts. The first, I am the chemistry that boils in the blood, the blind desire that drags you through the mud. The second, and I am the whisper that sanctifies the need, that grants permission for the wicked deed. What is the name of the duo that truly governs your will?